Well, good afternoon, guys. It's Bethany Drew here with Stampin' Up in Valparaiso, Indiana. It's kind of a cloudy day, but it's not dreary. It's a beautiful fall October day. And I was just thinking of how much, I don't know, you guys would laugh at my, just before I pop on as I'm running around, and all of a sudden I feel like a half hour before I have to get on live, I remember, oh yeah, I had to pull out meat to thaw out meat for, I was going to make meatloaf tonight for dinner. And I was like, I got to do that. And I was going to print up the sale thing. And even though I felt a little more prepared today, all of a sudden I remembered quite a few things I had to do just before starting. Does that ever happen to you? I don't know, but I don't think I'm alone in that. And while I'm waiting for people to come on, I don't know about you too, but one of my struggles is food addiction. I love sugar. I love sweets. I've really been trying hard in the last few months to do less sugar, and I did really well for a few months. My husband even was saying, you're so good, but man, I tell you, once you introduce it back into your life, it's so hard. I just like it so much. It didn't take away my cravings for sweets, especially when it's, that time of the month. And I think that's what it is for me, because as I was taking out my meat that I was going to thaw, I just, peeked in one of the ice cream cartons, and I was like, oh my goodness, how did my husband, or I don't know, whoever, the boys, put away the ice cream carton when there was like 3 spoonfuls left of ice cream? So guess what I ate just before I came on? I had a protein bar like an hour ago, but then I finished off that chocolate ice cream with the truffles. So anyhow, welcome to my world. We are going to look at a couple things, but the main suite we're looking at is Peaceful Place Suite today, and it's such a gorgeous suite. And I was so excited that I finally got to play with it. Because for me, doing these lives is accountability for me to play with everything I buy. I really do want, for me, when you buy a suite or a bundle, say a bundle costs $45 or $50. So if you purchase a bundle, if you make at least 5 to 6 cards, you've kind of already paid, and maybe 8 or 9. But if you make at least 8 cards, let's say 8 cards out of that bundle, you have just paid for in worth of cards. So you didn't have to buy cards. You actually made them with it. And to me, that then justifies the purchase of that bundle. And I've made quite a few cards with this Peaceful Place just today. I was telling my downline last night that I hadn't gotten any time to play with it yet, but today I had a lot of time. So, and it was fun. And I was like, ooh, I really like this. So I'm excited to show you it. A fun thing that I didn't even plan, because I didn't even really realize, but Paper Pumpkin, the subscription for the October box this month, totally matches the Peaceful Place suite. So I'm going to show you a little bit and if you follow my Daily Drew Stampers group, I did show a little quick video, a time-lapse video, and a couple pictures of those cards. So I'm not going to put them together, but I at least wanted to show you that it was so cool that this month's Paper Pumpkin matched with it. So a few things. I'm going to talk about a sale today, and I am going to show you just a few quick examples of some of the cards that was another thing, because I was like, oh shoot, I wanted to bring some samples. So if you're thinking about purchasing today because it's sales, there are a lot of great choices, and I've starred a few that are on this list because there's a lot of stamps that are on sale just today only. So you may want to wait till after my video and after I show you some of the things on sale, some of my favorites, before you decide to purchase. But you'll want to do it tonight before midnight, before the pumpkin poofs, guys, and the sale goes away, because Stampin' Up doesn't do this very often where they put this many stamps on sale. So it's very exciting. So let me actually do that first, just to get your minds reeling on what things could be on sale. Let me turn around. Close your eyes if you get dizzy when I'm putting my phone in here. Okay. So, sale today only, 24-hour stamp sale. It has already begun, but 15% off all of our cling mount stamps in the new catalog, in the annual catalog. So when you look, there will be a link, and when you search When you go into my website, thedrewdaily.stampinup.net, you just click on Shop Now, and then I bet there will even be the list when there's a whole thing, when you press the search button, there's a whole list of things. Sometimes it will say clearance rack or kits, but you could just say sale. There probably already is an item that says today's sale to find all those sets. But I have some starred, and I don't have examples of all of them that I starred because I just didn't have enough time. But I'm just going to read through the ones that I have starred. So there's a lot ones that I still like. So I'm not saying because there's other ones here that I really still like, but I'm gonna just tell you my favorites. Okay, so there's a bunch of really cool background stamps that are on sale right now, but Daisy Garden and the Festive Foliage, those two would be my two favorite ones that I find myself using more. The Daisy Garden background, I do have some examples for. So here are just some quick examples. So cute to just pop in one color and then add a sentiment. Great for a background and then make a sentiment pop. And in any colors, very fun to emboss and then sponge or color over. So Daisy Garden is a really pretty big background stamp set. The Festive Foliage, I haven't gotten to play with it a whole lot, but I still love it and I can't wait to use it more. I'm gonna knock over everything. Here is just one card I made with that whimsical tree paper. So this is the background, the Festive Foliage background. And it's a very pretty background that you could use probably all winter long. And let's face it, you could use it any time of the year. Daisy Lane, that's another Daisy card, or Daisy stamp set. I'm pretty sure I have few examples of that one. Daisy Lane stamp set matches with, we've got two different size daisy punches, so these are punched out. This actually was made by my friend Robin. It's really a pretty daisy, and I have used it and mixed and matched the daisy with a lot of different stuff, so I have a lot more examples, but I'm just trying to give you quick glimpses. Back on Your Feet is a really cute one. It's got little animals. It's got a giraffe with its neck twisted and a turtle on his back. Hope you get back on your feet soon. Sailing Home is a great one that I love. Great masculine cards, but for anyone who loves sailing, loves the water. Free as a Bird, I love, 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 love. I don't think I'll ever sell Free as a Bird because I love birds, and the sentiments on this one are just classic. I use this one all the time. Your friendship means the world to me. The world needs more of you. That sentiment I use all the time too. I love that for special people in my life. So the bird one is a classic one, and I love the sayings. Hey, Chris. Just throwing out some of the things that are on sale today. Timeless Tropical, that's a great one. And it'll show you on here. It says the retail price is $23. It's now only $19.55. So 15% off all of these. That's a great one with tropical. It's got palm trees and what you would think in a tropical one. Pineapple. Peaceful Moments is a great one. That matches with, there's so many different kinds of flowers. I think it's a poppies one. Prized Peony. I did find my Prized Peony ones, a few of them. This is a beautiful set too. The peonies are nice and big. If you can remember to stamp your envelope. That's a beautiful big flower. So there's a lot of flower choices. I know it's hard to pick. I know. Celebrate Sunflowers. Again, I love sunflowers. That's another beautiful. It matches some great dyes, but you can do super simple as well. And there's two different size sunflowers, so they're really pretty. Love them. And as I show all these, you'll see why in my normal live videos, I only focus on one bundle at a time, because I know you're looking at all these cards and you're thinking, wait, stop. I like them all, right? Happiest of Birthdays. I use that. I don't have samples of it. But it comes with, I probably can find the Happiest of Birthdays. probably have it out somewhere. There it is. I use it with a lot of different, because it's just the saying ones. I use this one a lot, guys. Happy little bit late birthday. Because I'm pretty good at sending them late. So I do make plenty of those. Tasteful Touches is a gorgeous one. Shoot, I forgot to grab samples of those, but the Tasteful Touches and the textured, no, I can't remember, but the paper and that whole suite is awesome. I love that one. Way to Goat is a cute little one with goat and fun pun sayings. What's Cooking? Oh, I forgot to grab those too. I love to cook and, well, more bake than cook, but that's a fun one. Many Messages is an awesome, lots of messages one. Artistically Inked. I think that's this one. This is another one that matches with some awesome dies. I love the dies. I probably got the set for the dies. Obviously, you see I've used a lot of them. But the Artistically Inked stamp set is really cool. The flowers look like they're kind of alcohol inked up. So it's a very, you can't go wrong with whatever sets you pick. That's what I guess I'm trying to tell you, even though I might be overwhelming you. Oh, Quiet Meadow, I forgot to grab those out. Those have some great dies that match it. Some classic flower ones too. Count on Me is a cute one with animals. And Through It Together, I will show you today actually. But Through It Together is a great whole bunch of sentiments when you want to have just a skinny little sentiment on here. And let me just read some of them because they're beautiful sayings. Praying for blankets of healing around you and yours. Follow your dreams. You're doing better than you think. You're capable of great things. You are loved today and always. Don't let worry spoil your happy. May your comeback be stronger than your setback. Forever grateful. You're proof there's good in the world. Love that one. Believe in yourself. Thank you. Hello, lovely. I miss you. Get well soon. Warmest wishes. Sending you this paper hug. Love that one. You guys know I call our cards paper hugs. I love you no matter what. The best way to get through things is together. Love that one. Stay strong, my friend. I'm here for you and with much love. So that's Through It Together. Again, 15% off just today. It was $22 and it will be $18.70 just today. So, whew, that was a speed run through some of my favorites in the 24-hour stamp sale. So make sure you check that out. A lot of good stuff on sale. And if you've never heard of Paper Pumpkin, it's an awesome subscription. And today's, or this month's, October's box is Christmas cards and 10 cards. So $22, that includes shipping. I can't even tell you guys how awesome this deal is. Paper Pumpkin kit is awesome for anyone. If you've never stamped before, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as my boys sometimes say, especially my kindergartner. I don't hear Jacob say that too much anymore. But aren't these so cute? And they totally match the Peaceful Suite, the Peaceful Place suite that I'm going to show you today. This paper looks just like some of the paper in the suite. And it kind of shows you that, oh, if you love this set, or if you love this kit, you might like getting some of the Peaceful Place stuff to make more fun with it, and everything coordinates. But Paper Pumpkin, $22 a month. You can skip any month you want, so you can go into your account and manage your account. It has really pretty descriptive instructions. A lot of times it has a little measuring tape on the end, so you can even measure if it tells you how long you need to cut your ribbon. It sometimes gives a little advertisement to, yes, there are other tools you may want to get if you start loving paper crafting, like paper trimmer, paper snips, that kind of stuff. And then it will often tell you and show you some alternative ideas to make other cards. So don't forget to keep using your cards. And this is where I love that this all coordinates with one of my suites, because I'll probably keep using the stamp set that comes with it even more because of that. So it always comes with, so it's got 10 cards worth of stuff, 10 envelopes that are so cute. Look at these envelopes. So they come with 10 designer envelopes. I love the buffalo check on the inside. A stamp set. It comes with not a whole sheet of dimensionals, but you do get dimensionals. All the pieces, like I said, this is what makes it easy, are just die cut and pop out. And it tells you which card needs what pieces. And so they're just, it's a super simple kit, and I highly recommend it. I hardly ever skip, even though I'm busy and I have all this stuff, because these are just super fun, easy ones. And at my holiday retreat day today, or not today, Saturday, I've got a couple people coming and we're gonna have fun just crafting all day. And that's probably what I'll do, is get some of my paper pumpkins out that I haven't finished and have fun with that. So that's paper pumpkin. If you have any more questions about that, please ask me, because I really do love it. And you can cancel anytime, but I love that you have the option to skip. So here's the Peaceful Place. And I'm going to show you all the elements in here up close, because just when you look in the catalog, it never does it justice. And even probably on my video, it won't do it as much justice as seeing it in person. But let me tell you, all these elements of the suite are just awesome. I really love them. And the dies do really cool things. And on the other set, when it shows a whole suite, you can see the true to size images, stamped images on the other side. And here's one more card made with that cabin. I love the font of the different sayings in here too. So it gives you more than Christmas. You've just got a simple "for you," wishing you the best, a thank you. Here's a Christmas one. May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. But that wouldn't have to be Christmas. Your kindness makes the world a more beautiful place to be. That could be anything. A thank you, a thinking of you, or anything. So it really is a versatile set. And again, I do want to mention, when you look in the catalog, some of you are kind of new to this. Hey, Teresa. Yes, you made it. When you look in the catalog, if it says a suite collection, the awesome thing about that is if you love everything in the suite, you still get the 50, or is it 10%? Yes. Yeah, you still get the 10% off of the bundle, but you get everything, and then it gives you one number and one price. So for $99, you get every single thing in the suite, which is this whole bundle: stamp set, dies, the velvet paper, the embossing folder, all the sequins, a whole thing of ribbon, and a whole package of paper, which I think is a pretty good deal. So they made that nice and easy, and I think a lot of us who have signed up as demonstrators tend to get those collections because it all coordinates, and you can't beat the coordination. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so let me show you the paper. The paper is gorgeous. You will love this paper. So even if you don't get the stamp set and everything else, this paper is so pretty. Okay, so one sheet is this buffalo check, and then the other has snowflakes, and there's, if you can see the sparkle on that, there's foil on the other side. This side, or this sheet, has some pretty sparkly, and again, there's snowflakes that sparkle, so foil on this side. And then I even love this design too, the little diamonds, light and feathery. It's very pretty. I showed you that one. This one is so cool, the wood grain foil look, and then some trees on the other side. And what I love about this too, all the silver and just gray, you could mix this with any colors you want. Isn't that pretty? And then this design, you can cut it right down the middle and use them for card fronts. You can scrapbook with them. Very fun. So versatile, and so many things you can do. Now with this sheet, where did that sheet go? That one you can cut into squares. Oh, did I already use both of those sheets? Maybe. That one has this background here. And that one pretty much has 4 squares of 6x6 squares with that, which then you can cut down into card fronts. And then I'll show you even another card and how to make scraps when you start trimming down these pieces to make a card front. But I love that they've got some of those that are already kind of divided, and you could use those for, again, scrapbook pages, card fronts, and all kinds of fun. So I want to keep it simple today. You know me, I like showing you a lot of stuff too. So here is, was able to actually make some show and tell today. So here is a really easy, super easy. So using the Peaceful Deers with that designer paper, I literally just cut this designer paper to go on a card front, stamped the sentiment, which says, "Wishing you a wonderful year and friendships dear." Get it? And it's a deer. And I haven't, or I did stamp Merry Christmas on the inside. Okay, so that's on black paper is the card base. So that's a really easy way to use our designer paper. Here's Stepped Up with an animal from my Joyful Life. This is in the holiday catalog. And you know, I had stamped a bunch of the animals and cut them out, so I just colored that one. Added, I love the dies that match with this. So here's the stamp set up close. There's trees, the cabin, there's a few sentiments, there's a little fox, fence. And then my dies, where did I put the dies? They were kind of a mess because, oh, here they are. I've been using them, so I just threw them on here. Now they come on double-sided tape when you get the dies, but I get from Amazon, you can get a whole package of sheets of magnetic sheets. And I put those down so I don't lose them. But you have a die that cuts out the trees, you have a die that cuts out like a hill and then the cabin. You have a little fence you can cut out. It cuts out the little fox. And I'll show you what some of the other ones do. There's a few like skinny little trees you can cut out. I'll show you what these do, the little snowflakes. Here's one that will cut out the little fox with a hill. So those are kind of cool. And this one cuts out the fence if you want to make the fence pop up. So a lot of fun with the dies. And so this one I used that tree die. And then there's also those little tree dies. So let me just show you real quick. That after you cut out your trees, then you just lay these on the trees you cut out. And it doesn't cut out the trees, it actually just cuts out those little holes in the trees. Isn't that fun? So that's Stepped Up using some of the designer paper. So I used some of that buffalo check designer paper and then use some of the dies to add a little bit more layer to that. Added a tag behind there and some embossed images. This is where today you're probably, if you don't have a die cutting machine, I would say, man, guys, get it on a wish list, get it or on a Christmas wish list. Christmas is coming. Tell someone, tell a friend, tell a spouse, tell a sibling, or maybe a group of friends who want to chip in, or just tell, you know, your spouse, hey, this is what I'm getting for Christmas is a die cutting machine. If you don't have one, because they're just so awesome. They really are. Here is another easy, and I stepped it up with a couple. I had already had these extra pieces cut out from another live video I did. So you wouldn't even have to add that. You could just add the ribbon on there. But here's another way to use the designer paper. I used both sides, but I just cut a little strip of it. So I still cut the designer paper to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 to fit right in the front of the card. But I just made a little strip. You guys have seen me do that a lot. And the red circle I cut right out of the card. So then you can see the foily, pretty paper on the other side. And then because there was a strip there, because I cut the paper, I added one of these. So you'll see I might add some of these foil trees. Because in the holiday catalog, and I will show you a different page, there are 3 different colored metallic silver. There's like a matte, a brushed finish, and a brighter silver. And I just cut out a bunch of those because I know they're going to make fun accents. So I threw one of those trees on the inside to dress up the inside of the card. And this stamp set, while I'm thinking of it, maybe I'll just turn to that page, is called Encircled in Warmth. So it's great with, there are some dies that match with it perfectly, but if you have some circle punches or circle dies, that will work just fine too. Let me find where Encircled in Warmth is. Because in that, everything's just coming together and coordinating so well today for me. That doesn't always happen. But when I saw what else was on the page with Encircled in Warmth, I was like, what? This goes together so well. Don't you love days when things seem to just go okay? I'll take those days. Okay, right as I'm saying that, now I can't find the page. I should have looked at what number it was. Encircled in warmth, where are you? There's the peaceful deer, whimsical trees. Here we go. Here we go. So encircled in warmth. So I love all the big, it's nice to have big phrases that you can put on the front of the card. But look at here, this is the silver foil package where you get the 3 different sheets. So you get a brushed finish, a matte finish, and a mirrored foil finish. The 3 different silvers. So I cut out the trees out of there. So this was page 23 in the holiday catalog. It's a cute little stamp set. And that's where I used the Joyful Season and I embossed that in silver. Isn't that pretty? So that's a pretty quick card, guys. Now you could stamp and cut out or punch out a circle instead of having to use the embossing powder, but and that would make it even faster. But super easy, traditional colors, fun. I did want to show you too, again, because it's shown more in the silvers, you forget sometimes that you can use this in any season as well. So look at this fun summary one, and very basic colors, so you could use this as a masculine card. Isn't this nice? And this is where I use that Threw It Together stamp set, I'm Here For You. I stamped in my white craft pad on black. But here's getting a little bit more fun with the dies. I even cut out the little cabin pieces. It cuts out the windows, so it's kind of cool. And then added some green trees back there. Put it on the scalloped frame, so it's like a framed, someone could actually frame this, don't you think? I don't know, it's cool. So don't forget to use it for other seasons and stuff too. All right, now we're gonna get to, I'm gonna show you a fun shaker card, because part of the suite, I said quickly when I was showing the whole suite, is these subtle shimmer sequins. Ooh, sparkly and pretty, aren't they fun? So because they're all loose and single sequins like that, I thought I gotta make a shaker card, and these are really fun. So when you shake it up, some of them will kind of stay up here, but most of them can fall to the bottom, and then they can shake it. And didn't this turn out pretty? And I'm going to show you how easy this is to make a little shaker card. Somebody, one of our Stampin' Up, like our downline events, showed this, and I thought it was brilliant, because sometimes I would struggle trying to find the right foam, or just putting we have adhesive or foam strips, but getting around circles, that can still be a little bit of a challenge. But here's a whale one that I used right after I saw that example. And so it doesn't matter what size you make it. Well, it does, I'll tell you. But so if it's, this one turned out a little bit shorter, and I just added a strip down here below. But I'm gonna show you what I use, and you're gonna find another thing that you're just gonna have to have, but it's not too expensive. Because it's just our clear medium envelopes. Okay, so the clear medium envelopes are really awesome, because they say they're 4 3/4 by 5 1/2, so kind of the size of a card. So I made this, the height of this, so this is where I made this one to go horizontal. This card, I cut the piece so that the height of it is going to be a little less than 4 1/2 to fit in the envelope. And again, I'm just going to slide this in here. Now you could stamp something on your card or add something on the inside, where this one I did not add anything on the inside. I literally just slipped that paper on the inside, where this one maybe I'll add a couple trees on the inside. Why not? Because we can. And you could also stamp something on the inside if you wanted to. Now the only thing about adding something on the inside is sometimes those sequins are gonna stick to and under the trees. Now this little skinny one, I'm probably gonna add a couple glue dots on. Or you could use your Tombow glue. We'll see how this goes. I should have maybe tried that out before I was like, yeah, sure, put something on the inside. Okay. So one of the measurements, at least, you want it to be a little less than 4.5. Let me check to see that I'm doing that right. I don't want to tell you the wrong measurement. 4. Okay, it's so, yeah, it's less, it's like an 1/8 or maybe a 1/16 less than 4.5. Sometimes trial and error. You do a cut and then try it out until it slides in. Okay, so now I just added those couple different, and they're 2 different textures of silver foil. I'm sliding it in this way so the sticky part is on the top of when you slide in the paper that you want to be on the front, because you're going to end up folding that back behind your paper. Okay, so I'm sliding this all the way to the end. This is why it's nice to make it exactly fit in the side, because if you have extra space on the bottom, you'd have to figure out how to kind of fold that into. So it's really nice to make it that exact measurement to slide in. Because now look at how easy. Now before I seal it, that would have been funny if I just sealed it before putting the shakers in, right? We got to put the sequins in there. So obviously you want to open it up so the sequins are going to go in front of your paper. Okay. Fun. And now I can peel this back. This is reveals a sticky substance for the envelope, but I'm also going to add a little bit of adhesive on just this piece that I'm folding over too. Okay, so now I'm going to just fold this over all the way. Oops. I want to make sure the sequins all stay over on that side. You just want to tuck it back and make sure it's all folded back, okay? And then it's sealed, and those things are not going to fall out because they're sealed in that. And we're going to end up putting this on the card base. And this one is a little bit of a teaser here because you guys can't purchase this yet. It's from Eden's Garden. It's one of the dies that comes with Eden's Garden that's going to come into our occasions catalog, not till January, but it's going to be early released for you as customers in November. So that's only next month. Woohoo! And the dies are something I really love. And so I'm actually going to use a border die, that same die, but let's see. I don't know if I want to keep it in silver. Maybe I'll do black since I've got a white card base. And let me show you the die that comes with that. Again, that's not available yet. I'm just teasing you. But it comes really long, so that die could be the whole side of a card too. It's really cool. So I'm going to get a black piece of paper. And I have a bunch of scraps, and I want to make sure I cut it the same size or length as the piece that I've got in the shaker. So what do we say, 4.5, like a 1/16 less than that. Is that the right? Whoa, maybe not 4. What did I do there? Oh, because that wasn't the width. This is only like 3 1/4. 4.5 was that way. Three and 3/4. There we go. All right, so now I'm just gonna run this through with this die that does a little bit of a stitching on there, and then it cuts out those little leaves. It's very cool. Run that through here quick. Look at how fast that does that. This is another reason I'm going to keep talking about how awesome our die cutting machine is, because it adds so much fun so quickly to your projects. Like, there's no way I would be cutting that. I'm just trimming that down so you don't see some of the black pop up behind there. Let's see, how much of a border do we need? I want to move that up. Okay. Oops. Sometimes, this is the CO Plus. Sometimes it is so strong it starts grabbing your paper. So you do want to be careful. It doesn't do that very often to me, but it does every once in a while. All right, so I want to center this at the bottom. And then I'm going to put this, oh, my high schooler is back. I'm going to put some of my CO Plus around each corner. So I'm putting this on the back. And this is, hopefully it's not an emergency. Sorry people, it's live time. Okay. And how fun is that? This paper is so pretty, isn't it? And then with the added little shaker, the sequins in the bottom, it's just so much fun. And again, you don't want to have too big of a saying. You don't want to cover up too much of that when it's so pretty. And the shakers are so pretty too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for a sentiment. I might actually even emboss white on a little strip of the foil. That might look pretty. But I'm not going to do that right now because I want to show you, I want to get to more. But I did want to show you the basics of making a shaker card with our clear envelopes. So again, that's the clear medium envelopes. Isn't that fun? You guys like that? I can't remember, I can't give credit to the person that I learned that from. Again, it was somebody on stage. But classic, awesome idea. Okay, let's show an easy way to use. So I went up and down with that deer example. I did a vertical card with the deer, super easy. Let's show a pretty easy card using the cabin, and we're going to use red with this one. So I'm going to have red in the background. This is our Poppy Parade red. I love how bright the Poppy Parade is. It makes me happy, Poppy Parade. So, because that's Poppy Parade, let's try to find my Poppy Parade ink. And I might have to use real red if I can't find Poppy Parade. I thought I had it out. But maybe not. All right, we'll use real red and no one will know. You won't tell on me, right? Real red is a little bit deeper than the Poppy Parade. It's not quite as bright, but it's pretty much a classic red. I'm gonna stamp this and probably right off. I'm gonna use this scrap paper here. I want to stamp it right at the bottom. I'm hoping not to cover up too much of the trees. It's okay if it stamps a little bit off the bottom. There, that cabin is so pretty. So there's, you know, you don't have to buy the dies that match with the stamp set. So if you don't have a die cutting machine, it's okay. You can find ways to use this cabin and use just the stamps without the dies. But I'm telling you, when you can cut them out, it just makes it more fun, right? Now if I wanted to add something like here, I cut out a foil tree. We could add a couple extra foil trees to it to just make it a little bit more fun. Or you could leave it as is. And this is where this paper leaves you room to, you could either stamp in the open space, so you wouldn't even have to add an extra element of your saying. Tuck that in. Let's center this. But isn't this fun? Like, how pretty is that? I'm getting... The paper is just gorgeous. You really don't have to add a whole lot to it, right? I love it. Let's see if a little mini dimensional, if it's on this tree somewhere. There's a good spot right in the middle. Add a foil tree there. Maybe a bigger one too. I've used a lot of my big ones. I think there's 3 different sizes here. Is that one smaller? I kind of like using different textures, but I don't want to use the same size. You know, if you're just going to add a couple trees, you don't want them to be exactly the same size. This one I'll just put a little glue dot on, and that should hold it. Boop, right there. So one's popped up with a little mini dimensional, one's just on there with a glue dot. And then, like I said, we could just stamp a sentiment here, but I'm going to step it up a little bit. And I'll show you what I did. I want to add a little tag here. And I know it's covering up, let's see. I might trim it down just a little bit more, but I want to show you. I used this tag. Hey, Deb. I used this tag to get this out, but then after I cut it out, and it cut out more this size, I just moved it down because the little stitched grooves almost stick in there, and it helps you line it up. And once you stick it in there, you can get it to the edge and make it however long you want. I'll show you what I mean if I want to trim this down more, because I'm going to stamp the may you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season in red again. And I don't know, I kind of like the length of it. It's kind of perfect. I know it covers up quite a bit of the pretty paper, but it's kind of perfect. You can still see the trees. It's pretty. Okay, so I'm not going to change it, but I could if I wanted to make it a little shorter. I'll show you. If I wanted to trim it down even a little bit more, just under the beautiful season, I would just line it up in there again and then run it through my Big Shot and trim it down, and it would give you that little stitched bottom then. Okay, so that's the way that you make something with a die a different size. And I'm telling you, this was super easy and fast, right? Now this is the pretty sparkly paper that, or not paper, ribbon that goes in the same suite. So again, this is where when you get a suite, you're a winner, because then everything you get coordinates together and it's awesome. Now with this ribbon, I actually cut it in half. So this is skinnier than it actually is. On this card, I used the other half. And isn't it pretty, even just half? That's one way to really make your ribbon last a long time. If you think, oh, Stampin' Up's ribbon's a little more expensive than I can get on clearance at Michael's or whatever. This is another way to make that ribbon last a lot longer and make it more worth your money. And again, I don't know, what's the commercials that are like, and priceless? The coordination that Stampin' Up gives really is priceless, of how everything fits together. And isn't that so perfect when you add that little ribbon right there in the tag, trim down my ribbon, get that into my garbage or close to it. Oh, I know, guys, there's so many sets that you're like, oh, I can pass by that. And then you start seeing more and more examples with it, and it's like, oh my goodness, I can't live without it. That's what happened with this one for me. I kept seeing more and more. Let's see, I think I'll put this all the way to the top of the card, just to leave as much room on the designer paper as possible. And isn't that pretty? That was super fast. I mean, if I wasn't talking so much, that'd only take a couple minutes. And so pretty. It would be a great Christmas card for somebody. Love it. And then if you wanted to add, this is where it takes a little bit more time if you want to add some of those sequins with like a glue dot. Now this is an idea that I saw someone, I thought it was brilliant. She didn't even point it out, but I saw she had tied a ribbon around it, her glue dot thing, so that when you use another one, you can just keep sliding it around so you don't end up trimming off too much of your paper. So thought I would just mention that to you guys, if in case you haven't ever noticed that before or seen that somewhere else. There are always fun little tips to be had. All right, so the glue dots are slightly bigger than the sequins, which is why shaker cards are awesome when you have loose sequins, because then it takes a little bit more work to put those sequins down, but it's fine. It's still doable. Find another glue dot, pick it up. And again, I don't like there to be sticking out. I don't want it to stick to my envelope. So I'm just gonna fold the rest of that glue dot in. See, 1, 2, buckle my shoe. The smaller ones don't really fit even close to a. See if I can find a more sheer one. Whoop, there they go. You want to play with your stuff in a secure spot, so in case some go flying, you can save your sequence. All right, last one. That's where, whew, putting the glue dots on the back of the sequins, you'll only want to do 3 sequins. You're not going to want to do any more than that. All right, because we do have some sequins that already have adhesive on the back. I usually prefer those, but like I said, the single ones are really nice for shaker cards. And look at that. Was that worth the extra minute and a half to put a few sequins on there for sparkle? Yes, sure. And then I was thinking too, this one I just keep thinking more and more. Again, you can always keep it as easy as you want it to be, but say you want to add just a little bit of sparkle or highlight one of your words. This is the glitter brush, Wink of Stella glitter brush, and say I wanted to highlight the word peace. take my glitter brush, because it's not going to bleed the actual word too much, but it bleeds the color, so it highlights it. And then I just wipe off the excess color. Voila! It made the piece sparkly and it highlighted the word. Isn't that fun? So that's a fun thing if you have the Wink of Stella glitter brush. I love this glitter brush. You can add sparkle to flowers, to snowflakes, to other things, but there's a fun way to use that to highlight something in a saying too. Nice and easy. Fun. Okay. So there's an easy example that I like to show you guys. I hope you appreciate me showing you, beginner. So some easy cards, ones that you don't need the dies with, but also the beauty of using all the dies. Because let me show you a card where we do use a lot of the dies. And I've already die cut a lot of the pieces for you, but I just wanted to show you how fun it is to put together after you've stamped and cut out these things. Now, I did also mention, but I didn't show you yet, but this is, I wish you could reach out and touch this. This is the velvet white paper, and it's so fuzzy, and I mean, it's velvety, but it's very easy to cut through. So it's pretty thin, it's not too hard. So your dies will cut through it very well, or very easily. Okay, so I showed a shaker card with this designer paper. You'll cut, so you'll get 3 of the pieces at the bottom where they're the trees, but then the top of it is all just kind of snowflakey. And it's like, oh, that's not as exciting as the trees, but it's still got foil snowflakes on it, and it's just as pretty as a background. So don't just discard this, or you can use the other side too. But I did want to show you the fun of, here I used, so I cut out of the designer paper using this die that cuts out a couple little holes and then a few of the snowflake shaped stars almost. And then when you cut that out of your designer paper, that kind of makes the background pop out because I have it on a white card base. I'm actually going to pop this up because that's even going to make it more fun. Then it shows the depth of what I've cut out with that die. So that's a fun way to use this because you know what, honestly, you could save the little stars that it cuts out and put them on with a little bit of Tombow glue or what, but I just threw those away, to be honest. I like what it does to make a background rather than trying to find glue to glue all those little things down. So isn't that fun that you can see the white through that then using that die? Okay, and then I kind of want to see where I want all these. So I cut these trees out and then I cut it at 5 1/4 to fit right inside of the front of a card. And I stamped the cabin in black and then I cut it out with the die. So the simplest die that just cuts out the cabin and then another hill. So the trees I'll move up just a little bit. And I'll actually put a row of, ooh, this works out perfect. Don't throw away your border dimensionals for this one. Yeah, I'll just use all. I'm gonna put that right in the border at the bottom so that when I put it down, it'll match and it won't be too crazy tall and popped up. So I'm gonna put that just underneath. And line that up. Now I might add one glue dot or something at the tip of these trees so they aren't just bouncing out, so they don't catch on stuff. But somebody that I just saw, I forget what video I was watching, but she actually took the glue dot and rolled it so it's a little bit higher than your normal. And I'm rolling it almost in a ball because that makes it pop up a little bit more like a dimensional rather than flat. And I'm going to add that to the top of the trees. So take my fingernail and roll it up. And then roll it again. You can almost roll it in a ball. Okay, I think Gabe's home. That's always a gauge of like, I'm about running out of time, gals. How does that happen? This time always goes by super fast too. Time goes by so fast when you're having fun, doesn't it? I'm trying to keep it simple for you guys too. Okay, so I rolled up a little glue dot underneath there. Now before I put the cabin down, I also did stamp out, and I wanted to show you, I didn't throw my scrap away yet. Because after I stamped and cut out the cabin, there was, you know, open space left. And I was like, oh, I do want a little fox to come out. So I just stamped the fox right here, and then I cut out with my die out of that empty space. Now I can throw, this is scrap paper that I can throw away. But I still used that little corner. So before I put this down, I kind of want to see where I want the fox to be. And I think I'm going to get him on the right side here. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right there. Line him up so that you can see the hill. There. And then I'll take my paper snips and trim that off because I don't want that edge to be there. And now that other extra little hill of snow is there. And now I can add on the cabin. And I think the dimensionals are probably going to stick better on the trees and the paper rather than the velvet. I'll still stick one over here too, but I'm not sure how well it's going to stick to the velvet paper, but we'll see. And these are just classic black and white So if you just have a memento pad, there's a lot you can do with just black and white stuff too, right? That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna try to stick one more dimensional under. Let me peel off the backing too. I just want to make sure that's good and that something's sticking to the actual designer paper down there. There, under the roof. Isn't that so pretty? So pretty. Love it. This designer paper is just, I don't know, it's to die for. I just like it a lot. It's so pretty. And I honestly, I don't know. This, I probably could use that, threw it together. You could make it a Christmas card. You can make it a thinking of you card, a congrats card. I mean, you could use thank you. You could use this for anything, right? It's where sometimes when I make a card like this, I don't put the sentiment on it yet because I don't know how I want to use it yet. I've got to wait for the right occasion, right? So it's okay sometimes to get it mostly finished and then figure it out later. But this velvety paper adds just some extra texture to it, and it's so pretty. I love it. All right, one more, if you can hang in with me. Thanks guys for hanging in with me, because I did want to show you fun ways to use scraps. Okay, so here's different cards that I've done and I have had around my house of fun ways to use scraps. You know, and like I said, I'm trimming down those, when you're trimming down designer paper to fit on the front of a card, you get these extra little pieces of scraps and what to do with them. Well, there's a lot of fun ways you can make a card with all those scraps. So here are some scraps that I had from that tree designer paper, some of the ones that I've just shown you that I've used. And then this is the timber embossing folder. Well, this isn't the folder, but this is, I already embossed it with the timber embossing folder. So it looks like wood grain in the background. I'm not going to put the whole card together, but I just want to show you how quick and easy it is to put a card together. And I'm just going to make them all different. Different sizes or different lengths. They already were trimmed at different sizes, so I don't have to do that one this way. So I'm just trimming them down. I really do love this little diamond designer paper. This one, we'll make it a little bit shorter. And this one has a little bit of the tree on it, the sparkly tree. Now literally you just tape these down and you can add a sentiment on it. So I'm just taping these with a little bit of space. We're not going to add a whole lot more to it. You could add some sequins or something after too. But I'm telling you, there's fun ways. Don't always just throw away your scraps, because there really are fun ways to use up your scraps. And I love all these grays and blacks. They're so fun. Right? So there, I just glued those down on that wood grain paper. And now I could add, I don't know, that's kind of big. It's a little bigger than what I want. Hi, sweetie. How was your day?
Good.
Oh boy. Now it's really time for me to be done because my elementary boys are home. They're home. Okay, all of these are a little bit big. Oh wait, circle? Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Circle it for the win. Let's see which one fits in here. Do I have warm Christmas wishes out? Oh, I know what I was going to use. Oh. Well, I won't use my white craft anymore. Now, what do you think? Should I stamp it in black or do a color? Like here, we could add... We could make it purple and then do purple base. Teresa, I know you love purple, so I'm going to do purple for you. And this is a sentiment from our... So I'm going back to our paper pumpkin. It says, Peaceful Christmas Wishes. Such a pretty sentiment. I like the font on that too. It's very pretty. Peaceful Christmas Wishes. And then just make sure that is straight. Again, the strips didn't have to be super straight. Put a couple dimensionals on the back of that. And I used Highland Heather. So again, if you used Highland Heather as the background, ta-da! Non-traditional colors for a Christmas card. Gotta throw at least one card in there with non-traditional colors. So really easy way to use your scraps. Isn't that fun? And then, because I've got these extra tree pieces, I could pop up one of my little foil trees if I can grab them here, as a little accent on the side of that, to just add a little bit more. Yay! So fun. Wow, thank you guys for sticking with me. Love you guys. I try to keep these quick, but I just get so excited. I just want to keep showing you more and more. Oh dear. So let me show you kind of beginnerish, easy, and we'll transition to the more complicated and avid cards. Okay, so super easy. Just use that design, let the designer paper do the work, and then I just punched out the deer on there, but stamped right on it. Using that designer paper again, but cutting a little strip so you seeing both sides. That's with traditional colors. Stamping that cabin right on that designer paper, but add a little tag on there, so stepping up just a little bit. Again, just using the designer paper and dies, but you could use it with any cute little animal you have to make it a little more cute for a kid. So if you forget about the cabin, you can add those trees to anything you've got, any stamp set. Shaker cards, super fun way to make shaker cards. Get those clear envelopes. You'll be happy you did. Any occasion and any season, so those cabins, when cut out in different colors and use different colored trees, you can really go any season if you want. And then even more avid, using all your different, I probably was gonna throw in a foil tree here too. We'll probably do something somewhere. So when I take pictures of them, this one may turn out a little bit different. I know. I'm glad you can't stop watching, Teresa. I can't stop showing you stuff, but I have to. I have to stop because I got to make meatloaf for my family. But I hope you loved seeing the Peaceful Place suite. It really has amazing coordinating stuff. I love everything in the suite, and the paper really is gorgeous and so versatile to use with whatever colors you want, any color schemes, any occasion, any stamp set. It really is a versatile one. So before you go, don't forget the 24-hour sale. Guys, just today, even those of you who are my downline, just shop for yourselves, but I know I'm looking at that list again, seeing if there's any that I don't have yet, although I do have a lot of them, because 15% off is awesome. It's like you're not paying any shipping and tax pretty much. So, nice to have a sale on that many. Again, it's like all the cling mount stamp sets. So when you go onto my website, just look for the sales. And that's thedrewdaily.stampinup.net. And again, in the next day, I'll show you pictures so you can actually take screenshots, or if you want to tweak or do something different, or just copy the layout that I've got for a card. That's what card making is all about. Inspiring you. And if you copy something exactly like I do, and have showed, that makes me happy. So I love when you guys share cards that you've been making on my page too. That's awesome. That I don't have to be the only one inspiring you guys. You guys can inspire others too. I love it. So thank you guys for coming and joining me. I hope you enjoyed your time today, and I will see you next Wednesday. And it's next Wednesday. Okay, I was like, oh man, is this the last Wednesday in October? Not yet. On Saturday, I'm going to see a couple of friends for my holiday retreat. And then next Wednesday, I will tell you a little bit more details about my Christmas card class coming up in November. And that will be like the 14th, 16th, and 18th or something like that. So you've got time to think about that, but I wanted to at least get it out so you have time to reserve a spot and come stamp with me. So we will see you guys later. Love you all. Have a blessed day. Bye, guys.